नमस्कार दोस्तों और जय हिंद। आप सभी को स्वागत है इन माय चैनल 1971 वॉर बुक सीरीज। तो दोस्तों आज हम बात करेंगे बहुत दिनों के बाद 1-to-1 विथ अ मुक्ति बाहिनी कमांडर एंड अ गैलेंट मुक्ति बाहिनी फाइटर who had taken part in the transport of weapons and ammunition from India, taking part in numerous assaults against the Pakistani forces, helping out local villagers during the entire 9 months of the occupation of the Pakistani military in Bangladesh. और उसके साथ he had also helped out in the Indian Army's selection of drop zones for landing paratroopers close to the Pungli Bridge, which made a very big impact on the victory of India and the Mukti Bahini on the Pakistani forces in Dhaka at the end of the 1971 war. His contributions in something that we use today very much, the Colgate toothpaste. Yes, he is one of the main founding minds of the Colgate toothpaste that we have been using for such a long time. That is the first FDA approved toothpaste, being a scientist himself. आज हम बात करेंगे with Dr. Nurun Nabi, an eternal freedom fighter, जिन्होंने बांग्लादेश की आजादी के जंग में एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा निभाया है। मैंने जैसे आपको बताया है, this is going to be a long podcast video and a lot of details right before the commencement of Operation Searchlight, the initiation of the struggle of the liberation of Bangladesh, to the formation of the Mukti Bahini, to linking up with the Indian Armed Forces and the fight together to liberate Bangladesh. ये सब के बारे में आज हम जानेंगे. So let's welcome Dr. Nurun Nabi to our program today.
Thank you again for inviting me to share my experience. I was born and raised at the crossroads of Bangladesh history during 1970 to 1967 to 1971.
Okay.
These are the part liberation movement as well as liberation war. So I was raised in a very happy environment in a green scenery of rural Bengal. Our area was affluent. There was cultural activities like play, concerts, soccer game. So we are a happy young generation growing up. Then all on a sudden in 1962 there was a flood from Jamuna River. Okay. And our area was inundated by water and all the crops were destroyed. As a Bengali, our staple food was rice. But rice fields were destroyed, jute crops were destroyed. Then economic downturn started in our area, and we had to start eating roti instead of rice. It was came from the government as a ration. Okay. So it was a cultural shock. And after that flood, the economic situation in our area was going downturn. So also I saw the economic condition going down in the area. Then I moved to college and I found out that whatever I have seen in my village, in our area, it's across the East Bengal, East Pakistan. Okay. Reading from newspaper that economic condition of East was going down. On the other hand, economic condition development was going up in West Pakistan. So in the newspaper it was discussed the discrimination between East and West Pakistan. And then we came to know the history of language movement 1951. Jinnah, the leader of Pakistan, he said Urdu will be only national language of Pakistan. Though Bengali are majority, about 56% of Pakistan population were Bengali. So it was seen by the political leaders, especially Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Then he is a young Awami League leader and other leaders. They protested Jinnah's call that Urdu will be only language of national language of Pakistan. So Bengali people were very rational. Though they were 56% majority in Pakistan, they could ask that Bengali should be the only language of national language of Pakistan. Instead, they said alongside the Urdu, Bengali also should be the national language of Pakistan. But instead of accepting this political solution, police fired on a agitation of the students February 21st, 1971, 1952. 52. Then after this bloodshed, then people, especially young generation in East Pakistan, they realized that this is not only an attack on the right to speak their mother language, it is also a right on their political right. And they realized that this discrimination between East and West in terms of economic, in terms of politics, I mean that Pakistan was ruled by that time a ruling class from West Pakistan. So Bengali people feel that they were second class citizen in Pakistan. Then Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the then Awami League leader, a young leader, he realized that the right of the Bengali will not be fulfilled in those Pakistani structure of the nation. So he realized that Bengali must earn their right by struggle. So he formed Chhatra League, Student League. Then he participated in the national language movement. Then when Awami League as an opposition political party was established, he was in jail, but he was appointed as a joint secretary of Awami League.
Right.
Then when the general secretary for psychological mental issue, he disappeared, then Sheikh Mujib was appointed as a general secretary. So then he organized the Awami League, and that will be the platform where, based on which he will fight for the right of the Bengali people. Right. And then military ruler came, the General Ayub Khan took over the power. He ruled the country for a decade, but in 1966 Sheikh Mujib realized that he must start movement for realization of the autonomy for East Pakistan. And then he, in a
this
conference
was a 6-point movement, right, sir?
Yeah, I'm coming to that point. So in 1965, there was a movement. There was a conference of the opposition political party in West Pakistan, Lahore. He put forward 6-point charter for autonomy of East Pakistan.
Okay.
But opposition leader, they did not accept. They did not allow Sheikh Mujib to present his 6-point demand as a charter for autonomy. Then Sheikh Mujib made a press conference in Lahore and presented 6-point charter as a solution for the autonomy for East Pakistan. Oh. Then he came back to his hotel room and told his colleagues that I gave a 6-point charter. It means 1-point charter. It realized by the ruling class. I also understand that they will not accept this 6-point charter. We have to make movement to obtain this, to gain this right. So he came back to East Pakistan, and at that time when he presented this Lahore press conference, it was his own proposal, not the proposal of the Awami League. So he came back to East Pakistan, and then executive committee of the Awami League, he presented this to the executive committee, and executive committee approved as a 6-point charter of the Awami League itself. So it became a national movement for the
People.
rights of the East Pakistan.
Right.
We call it the national charter. So then Sheikh Mujib started campaign to
Can you tell me
campaign
the 6
in.
points that he had put forward?
Yes, 6 points is interesting. The East Pakistani government will have the right to introduce its own currency.
Okay.
As you know, in modern statehood, currency is the symbol of sovereignty.
Right.
So if East Pakistan has the right to introduce currency as well as collect taxes, authority of the government is collecting tax.
Mm-hmm.
So central government will not have that.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other issues. So just these two important demands of 6-point charter, Pakistani ruler realized that this 6-point charter means 1-point charter, which is eventually independent of East Pakistan.
Right.
But Sheikh Mujib was a very shrewd political leader.
Mm-hmm.
So he presented all these in the package of 6 points, terming that it is the
Right, so the
charter
people-
for autonomy, but in fact
Yes, yes.
it was a hidden agenda
Hmm.
to get the independence of Bangladesh, and the politically conscious people, they understood that.
Hmm.
So did the Pakistani rulers. Anyway, so he came back and he started campaigning in support of public opinion, in support of his 6-point charter, and he came to Mymensingh in 1966, and I was a student of Anandabhavan College in Mymensingh. So I saw him first time in my life in Mymensingh 1966. It was a small public meeting, and he explained the 6-point charter, and he told the audience that Mr. Ayub Khan, President Ayub Khan, this charter is for the autonomy of East Pakistan. I have no quarrel with people of West Pakistan or the central government.
Mhm.
I have given this charter for to attain the rights of the people of East Pakistan, or people of Bengali people of
Bengali
East
people of
Pakistan.
East Pakistan.
Yes, because 90% population in Bengal, East Pakistan, were Bengali. So anyway, so he returned. This is the first time I met him. He returned to Dhaka. He was arrested. Then his supporter went to the court, got bail. He went to another district, make a presentation, a public meeting about this, and then he was arrested again.
Acha.
So in this way, in 9 weeks, if I am correct, he was arrested 13 times. It was a part of harassment.
Harassment.
When Ayub Khan and provincial governor Monem Khan realized that Sheikh Mujib's 6-point charter is getting popular, he is getting popular support, and he is becoming a national leader, so they conspired and put a treason case against Sheikh Mujib. It is known as Agartala conspiracy case. Purpose was that this is a treason case. They will establish this in the court martial, and then they will hang Sheikh Mujib to death to kill his 6-point movement.
Acha.
And that time I was in Dhaka University. I became more active as a activist of the student league,
Chhatra
and
League.
so I had the opportunity to participate every movements of the liberation war, like Sheikh Mujib 6-point. Then we introduced 11 points, students 11 points, including 6 points of Sheikh Mujib and 5 points of the students. So we started a movement among the students, 11-point charter. That was also in support of 6 points. And then we started non-cooperation movement. Finally, Ayub Khan were forced to withdraw the 6-point charter, the Agartala conspiracy case, and then they then Sheikh Mujib was released, and they recognized, until then they did not recognize 21st February as a language martyr day. So on February, we achieved three things. One was that they withdraw Agartala conspiracy case, they released Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and they recognized 21st February as a language
Martyrs Day.
language movement martyrs day. So it was a great achievement. And then then Ayub Khan was forced to resign. There was a non-cooperation movement against him, but he handed over power to another general, General Yahya Khan.
Acha.
And Yahya Khan was forced to give national election. And he gave the general election depending on a intelligence report of the army, DGFI, that no political party will have absolute majority in the parliament. And he thought that these splinter groups will have will win in the election, and then he can divide and rule Pakistan as Ayub Khan did for 10 years. Ultimately, his plan was that though he has given election, since no single party will win, so he will control the political parties and rule Pakistan like Ayub Khan for another 10 years. But to the surprise of his intelligence report and also to the Bengali people as well as to the nation, Sheikh Mujib gained the single majority in the Pakistani parliament and earned the right to become Prime Minister of Pakistan. And he campaigned that election in support of 6-point charter. So through that election, he received mandate for writing Pakistani constitution based on 6-point charter. That means autonomy for East Pakistan, as well as since he owns single majority in the national parliament, he would become the Prime Minister of Pakistan. And also in East Pakistan Provincial Assembly, his party Awami League also win absolute majority, almost 3 out of 310 provincial assembly members. His party own almost more than 300 seats. So it was a clear mandate to the nation, to Pakistan, to world, that Sheikh Mujib is the leader of Bengali people through elections.
I think almost everybody voted for Awami League.
Exactly. And when he decided to participate in the election under military rule, many of the leaders in East Pakistan, and including Maulana Bhashani, they said, Sheikh Mujib, don't participate in this election under a military rule. And he said, no, I'll participate in the election. I want to prove who is the leader of Bengal. And he proved himself that he is the leader. So then he started talking to the Pakistani ruler, General Yahya Khan, and he advised Yahya Khan to call the meeting of the Parliament Constitution Assembly in Dhaka on March 1971. And on March 71...
it was 2nd March.
No, it was March 1st, my recollection. He was having a parliamentary meeting of his own parliamentarian group in a hotel in Purbani Hotel in Dhaka, and I was a final year student of Dhaka University's biochemistry honors course. We finished our written exam. We are giving the practical exam, and on March 1st was the last 2 hours of our practical exam. Then we found that there was a people's procession around near the roads bypassing Curzon Hall, the campus of the Dhaka University.
Okay.
So we were a little bit surprised. Then we came to know that EIA Khan postponed the Constituents Assembly on March 3rd in Dhaka without consulting Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. In a parliamentary procedure, that parliament should be called
Informed.
at the advice of the leader of the house, which is Sheikh Mujib, and he cannot postpone without his advice. So what EIA Khan did, he realized that if the constitution of Pakistan is formulated on the basis of the 6-point charter, then Sheikh Mujib's agenda will be realized. That in one day Bangladesh, East Pakistan will be a Bangladesh. So he conspired with the opposition leader in the parliament, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto in
PPP.
Larkana, PPP. That was he met with PPP leader Bhutto in Larkana and conspired that this assembly would be postponed. So he made a unilateral declaration that the session of the Constituent Assembly to be held on March 3rd has postponed because the member of the parliament from West Pakistan, including PPP's members, they are afraid of their life. That was an excuse.
I
Sheikh
think
Mujib
Sheikh
realized.
Mujib also mentioned about this fallacy on his legendary 7th of March speech, I guess.
Yeah, I'm coming to that point.
Yeah.
Then Sheikh Mujib clearly understood and saw that this is a conspiracy. Postponement of the parliamentary session to be held in Dhaka on March 3rd is a conspiracy, and not to hand over power to Sheikh Mujib, not to allow to write the Constitution of Pakistan based on a 6-point charter. So then he said it cannot go unchallenged. So in protest, he called non-cooperation movement protest meeting on March 3rd, March 2nd, March 3rd. So when he declared this, then people came out on the street, and when we saw this from our laboratory exam hall, we also deserted this hall and we joined the people's march. It was going to our stadium, but there was a news that Sheikh Mujib might come to join that public meeting. It was a spontaneous meeting. There was a cricket game in the stadium. This Polton Maidan next to the stadium. So the spectator of this cricket game, they came out from the game. Game was postponed, and procession was coming from all over Dhaka. So it became a public meeting, and people are expecting that Sheikh Mujib, by that time Sheikh Mujib is known as a Bangabandhu, friend of Bengal. So
I think
it was
by then, sir, nobody was mentioning East Pakistan as Bangladesh.
not at all. By the way, on 3rd March, student group they held a public meeting in Polton Maidan, and they declared that from now on East Pakistan will be known as Bangladesh. On 3rd March in a students gathering, and we also raised the flag of independent Bangladesh. It is a green background where red symbol of sun, but there was a map of East Pakistan. So
Bangladesh.
later, after the independence, map was removed. Now the national flag is the red
Red
circle
circle in
in
between
the
the
middle,
green flag.
at the back, green background. Anyway, so then Tufail Ahmed, leader of the student movement, 11-point charter, he also then joined the Awami League, became member of the parliament. He was also in the parliamentary meeting with Bangabandhu. Then he came and said that Bangabandhu sent me to tell you that Bangabandhu will make a directional important national speech on March 7. Today he is not coming to this meeting. So get ready and join a big gathering in race course Maidan on March 7. So we came back to the hotel, and most of the students, the university was closed. They left for home, but we, the activists of student league, about a dozen, we remain in the hotel, in the hall, I mean dormitory, and few students from the student union, a leftist student group, they also remain, and we decided to work for the non-cooperation movement. So we worked very hard to organize a 7th March meeting, and there was a rumor that while Bangabandhu will come from his residence, 32 Dhanmondi residence, to the racecourse Maidan, the Pakistani commando or some other killer may kill Bangabandhu. So that's why the Awami League put volunteers on every road to from Bangabandhu's house towards racecourse field, racecourse Maidan. So we were assigned, 3 of us were assigned to be a volunteer in Dhanmondi Road, and we have been waiting for Bangabandhu, and hundreds of people were passing by towards racecourse. But finally, in those days, there was no cell phone, so we could not contact, or we did not know what was going on in other area. So after a long wait, we heard that Bangabandhu already arrived at racecourse through another road, because his road was a secret, that way he will come to the racecourse. So then when we heard that news, we rushed to the racecourse. So we found that hundreds of thousands of people. I have never seen such a big public gathering in my life. And we tried to stand in front of a podium so that we can look Bangabandhu very up close, but there is no room to even to stand. So we are forced to take.
And people had, I think, bamboos and sticks with them.
Oh, there these hundreds of thousands of people. They were in the meeting with bamboo sticks and the thundering slogans. So when Bangabandhu arrived, we were able to stand the last microphone near the High Court end, and we listened Bangabandhu's speech. So I was lucky that I had the opportunity to listen his speech on March 7th. It was a historic, and everybody knows about a 19-minute speech, but he clearly mentioned that the struggle for this time is for independence. Struggle for this time is for our emancipation. So, and also he gave directions kind of that we have to face Pakistani military. In other words, there will be war. So he warned us that we must organize ourselves in every neighborhood. Whatever we have to fight back the occupation armies. So as an those who are activists like us, student leagues, it was a declaration of independence because when leader of the house say that struggle for this time is for independence, then there was no more need to declare formal declaration of independence. Anyway, so we got a clear message, the nation got a clear message that Pakistan, we are going to have our own independence, and if necessary, there will be war, and we must face occupation forces. Anyway, so in this way, the non-cooperation movement was going on. Yahya Khan came to East Pakistan, came to Dhaka, pretending that he will have a
Another meeting.
negotiation with Bangabandhu and have a political solution. But it was a conspiracy, it was a plan in disguise to bring arms, ammunition, and soldiers from West Pakistan to East Pakistan to get ready and attack these Bengali students and member of the Awami Leagues to crush this movement for independence by military action instead of political solution. So this negotiation between Bangabandhu and Yahya Khan going on for several weeks. Finally, on March 25th, we came to know that the negotiation between Bangabandhu and Yahya Khan has broken because Bangabandhu was adamant about the implementation of 6-point charter. And Yahya Khan said, if we implement 6-point charter, there will be no more Pakistan. It will be. So message was clear to both sides. So after several weeks negotiation, it was a pretend, not a real negotiation from Yahya Khan's
That things will be
side.
all right. We'll do this.
Yeah, and Bangabandhu was adamant that he will not compromise. So finally, when their preparation for military attack was ready on 25th March, negotiation broken. Yahya Khan decided to go to West Pakistan. So we were told, me, my two other student league comrades, Amin and Habibullah, we were kind of leader of the group of FA Sol. Our student leader Abdul Qudus Makon, he told us that negotiation has broken. Yahya Khan will go back to Pakistan and they will attack Dhaka University to crush the student movement. Then he advised us to go to Iqbal Hall, which was the headquarters of the Independent Students Movements Committee, to get instruction what to do. So Amin, Habibullah and myself went to Iqbal Hall, and we found that Ishtiaq Sisti, a student leader, was there. On other day, there are hundreds of student activists, Awami League worker leaders were there. But on that day, only Sisti and few of his friends were there. And Sisti instructed us that when we met Ishtiaq, it was already evening, dark. So he said already
25 March.
Evening of 25th March. So Abdul Qudus Makon told us afternoon, but when we arrived there, it was already evening, and he told us Yahya Khan already left cantonment. He is at the airport. He will soon take plane to West Pakistan, and military will attack. He instructed us to go to the intersection of Shahbag Hotel. That time it was Shahbag Hotel. Now it is Bangabandhu Medical University.
Achha.
And in those days there was a water fountain in the intersection. And later this Gano Jagaran Mancha movement was
That was
stationed there.
2013.
So and Sisti advised us that contact a labor leader in the slum near behind Iqbal Hall, which is now there was a big building a national museum. So that time it was a slum there. So he said, we go there and meet that leader. He will provide you 60, 70 worker, and then with their help make a barricade and at that intersection so that military cannot easily enter the campus. So according to his advice, we met this labor leader.
And these
He
places,
gave
I
us
think, are very close to Dhaka University, Old Dhaka,
that is
Shahbag.
the entrance of the campus. That is so if you pass that water fountain or the on one side there is a Radio Bangladesh building. There was, and then Hotel Shahbag. If you cross this intersection, then you enter into the campus area. And then after a few hundred years, this Charukola, this, and then Dhaka University, and also students, TSC, Students Teachers
TSC.
Centers. Anyway,
Right.
so we met that labor leader and we found about 50 people with us. We started making barricade. And when it was about 11:30, I was a little bit tired, so I took a break and standing on the sidewalk. Then and the other people are making the barricade. The reason we choose that place was that there was a building. It was a official building of the Ayub Khan's political party, and now it is a book market. So the construction was going on. So there were this construction
was that
material.
Nilkhet, sir? Nilkhet?
No, this is it is called Shahbag.
Shahbag.
This area
So
is
this
known as Shahbag.
Okay.
This area is known as Shahbag. So there were construction material like bamboo stick, rod, bricks, then
Sand,
cement boxes, cement bags. So with those materials, we started building the barricade. So around 11:30 to quarter 12, I took a break. I was standing on the sidewalk. Then I found that couple of jeeps, military jeeps, were coming towards us. When they came to the intersection near the water fountain, they stopped and found that we are making barricade. Then they turned the jeep towards us and then turn off the light and then turn on again and then fired on us with machine guns and all kinds of guns. So that is the first time in my life I heard the sounds of machine gun so close. I was afraid. I jumped to the dish. And there was a lot of debris, so I got injured. But those who were on the street, they were fired upon directly. Many of them were killed. There was a screaming, crying, those who were injured. And so when I get conscious, I was unconscious for a few moments. When I get consciousness, then I get out of the slum. Then I started running towards Dharmandi through Elephant Road, and my cousin used to live there, so I ran and took shelter there, and I found that I was injured from debris, but not from bullet injury. But anyway, after a few minutes, the hail fell on Dhaka city. There was a sounds of firing, gunfight, and then smoke, fire on Border Security Force campus in Pilkhana. Then on east of
right, sir?
EPR, that time EPR. And then on east of the campus there was a police headquarters. There was a fire and fighting and sounds there, and also the old city, there was a neighborhood of Hindu people. They put on fire and attacked that area. So it was a Shakari Bazar. It was a hell fell on the Dhaka city. Whole night this was going on. We could not sleep. End of the night, in the early morning, Yahya Khan gave a speech over radio and mentioned that there was an attempt of anarchy last night. It was led by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and his Awami League party. We have arrested Sheikh Mujib. He is a traitor. He wanted to break East Pakistan, and we impose curfew in whole East Pakistan, including Dhaka city. Curfew means nobody can get out of house and walk on the street. So when we heard that news that Sheikh Mujib was arrested and then there was a curfew, then we stayed inside and military were patrolling our neighborhood, and we heard that they are doing patrolling all over the Dhaka city, because those Bengali member of the EPR who fought in the Pilkhana, and also those Bengali member of the police forces, they fought back, but they could not stand with the Pakistani military. They have sophisticated arms, ammunition. Finally, they fled. So they were looking for those who deserted the headquarters, police headquarters, EPR headquarters, looking for them. So that's why they came to our neighborhood. So I was afraid that possibly they will arrest me. But I hid in the toilet, and when they passed through our neighborhood, could not find anybody. They just walked away. So when curfew was lifted next day, then to make a long story short, I tried to leave Dhaka city, go to my village home. We started
So 27th of March, the curfew was lifted
27th
for
of March.
2 hours, I guess. 2 to 3 hours, right, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when curfew was lifted on 24th March, and people started leaving their home and going out of the city, so I found that one bus service was going from Gulistan area towards Tangail, my home district.
Very lucky,
I
sir,
rode.
indeed.
Yeah, I rode on the bus, and that time we have to Dhaka Tangail road was has to go through the cantonment
Savar
area.
cantonment.
Not Savar, it's a Dhaka cantonment. It's within the city. Savar is little bit outskirt of the Dhaka city.
I think at that time it was not even there.
Savar cantonment, that was the cantonment within the city. Where is now anyway. So when it arrived near the cantonment, they did not allow the bus to pass through the cantonment. They asked to all the riders of the bus, get out of the bus, and they ask us to stand in line in a row, and they picked up the able-bodied person separated from their family, and they allow I was 21 years old, like a physically not look so strong that I am a military person. So they allow people like me and the family members to get on the bus again and ask us to go through Mirpur area. But we do the family members whose male passengers were asked and kind of arrested. They started crying. We don't know what happened to them. So anyway, we were lucky that bus take turn and came to the west part of the city and tried to cross the Mirpur bridge towards Manikganj. So we were lucky. They checked us again and allowed us to pass the bus through Mirpur. That's how we came out of the city. And then in 10-15 miles, the Nobinagar, there is an area. I get off the bus and I found that the people going towards Tangail and Mymensingh. They are walking from Mirpur Manikganj Highway through Nabinagar towards Tangail Dhaka Highway. So we walked about 10 miles, and hundreds of people with their children, old people, and few possession in their hands. We walked towards Dhaka Tangail Road, and we found the buses. Tangail Amilik people, they organized this bus service. So we get onto the buses and came to Tangail, and from there I came another bus towards Mymensingh, finally came home. So that was the journey from Dhaka towards my village home. I stayed there for a couple of days. Then I realized I must do something. I cannot just stay home. So I, along with my cousin and my brother-in-law, he was a member of the EPR, East Pakistan Rifles. We attempted to cross border and wanted to go to India. Because by that time we knew that people, and especially students, activists, they were crossing border and joining Mukti Bahini.
This was in
So
April.
we walked 2 days, because it is a long distance through the Jamuna, as a bank of the Jamuna, because that was remote area. So we finally came to near a village near the border, and at night we were told that the leader of the village is a pro-Pakistani element. We call it Rajakar. And he realized that 3 persons, 2 students and 1 military EPR member staying in the village, and in the morning will cross border. So the one student, lady student, a female student, he came home from Jamalpur, that was her college. He sent a note in secret that you must leave our house, otherwise in the morning this pro-Pakistani leader, he will inform the military, they will arrest you, or you will be killed, so you must leave our house. So then 3 of us, we realized that it will be risky to stay and attempt to cross border, so we decided to leave the house at dark of the middle of the night at dark. It was so dark that even we could not see few years ahead of us, but we had to save our lives. We started walking back towards
this
our
was in the
home.
month of April, right, sir?
April, in the early April.
So peace
early
committee
April.
was formed, I think.
Already peace committee was formed, and Pakistani forces, they took position in the border. And initially they were not at the border area, they were in these cities, but by that time already they set up checkpoints at the border area.
Acha. But I mean this special.
So we came home, and I decided that I will form a freedom fighter groups, Mukti Bahini.
Acha, acha.
So I found out that there are, like my brother-in-law, there are several desertees from military, police, EPR, and also some students leader also were available. 2 student leaders from Tangail, I found that they are also hiding in the area. So I contacted them. Then 3 of us, we decided to form a small group of freedom fighter, Mukti Bahini group. Then since those student leaders, they were from Tangail, not from areas. But since I am from area, I know which village, where are the desertees are there. So I contacted them. We formed a group of 12 freedom fighters group, including military, police, and EPR members, also some students activists.
Okay.
And then I found that more people were available. If we can contact them, they will also join us. And so I again went. Oh, by the way, we set up a freedom fighter camp near a village near the Jamuna River because it's a remote area. We started training, and there was a military Bengal regiment member, Habibur Rahman. He became. We appoint him as a commander. He started giving training, and we have some few rifles,
Another
three or
question,
three
sir.
rifles.
This Habibur Rahman, was he a Pathan of
No, he's a Bengali guy.
Bengali guy? Okay.
No, that Habibur Rahman is another
Acha,
person. Yeah, I will possibly mention when I started speaking about the liberation war.
Okay.
And now I am talking about the starting of the liberation war.
Okay.
So finally, when I went out to collect more people, and then I was at my home waiting to step out and going other villages. Then I found a group of people arrived, about 12 people arrived at our home, and everybody were wearing shawl, what is called in English,
Shawl. Yeah.
a shawl.
Shawl.
And that was summertime, so it was strange that why everybody is wearing shawl.
Right.
So when they arrived at my home and then met me, then they take off their shawl, and I found that almost everybody has a Stein gun with them. They were freedom fighters.
Acha.
They crossed the border, went to India, and they were trained to blow up the bridges with explosives.
Okay.
So they came in our area and heard that I'm a Dhaka University student leader. I formed a small Mukti Bahini group, and so that's why they came to meet me and sought my help how to which bridge and how to blow up the bridge. The purpose was that to interrupt the movement of the Pakistani forces on the highway. So I was very happy to meet them. I said I attempted to cross the border and go to India and get training like you, but I could not. Fortunately, you came, so let's go to our camp.
Right.
So I brought them to our camp, and there I heard that another group, a bigger group, also came to Bhuapur. Now, the area is known as Bhuapur, and its leader is Kader Siddiqui.
Okay.
I knew him earlier, and he was in the Pakistani military, and now he's a student leader. So I told my group that our group have only 3-4 rifles,
Acha.
and I'm not a military person. So if we join our bigger group, then we will be more effective fighting Pakistani forces.
Okay.
So my two friends from Tangal, student leader, they were reluctant. I don't. But later I know they have some rivalry with Kader Siddiqui, but I convinced the group that it is better for the greater interest to go and join.
Because by then I
Siddiqui.
think Kader Siddiqui had made a lot bigger group of fighters.
Yeah, and when I went to Bhuapur, his camp, I found that his groups are well dressed, well trained. They have Stein gun, machine gun, grenade, and I knew him. He was a military person, so we decided to join him. He was very happy.
Now another
After
thing,
few
sir, I would
days-
like to ask you. I've heard that in Kader Siddiqui's Mukti Bahini force, especially, they did use the rank of captain, lieutenant, major on purpose. Though these were civil leaders, I think civic volunteers, not armed forces.
Yeah,
personnel.
there were some military persons also,
Okay.
like himself. He was a a member of the Bengali regiment in Pakistan Army. We have another person, Fazlur Rahman. He used to also work in the Pakistani military, and he by himself assumed a title. He's a captain, Fazlur Rahman. As said Habibur Rahman, who destroyed the Pakistani lance filled up with arms and ammunition. He was also a desertee from Bengal regiment.
Achha.
So we have few civilian as commander of the Mukti Bahini. We organized our group as in the form of company and military style, because Qadir Siddiqui was a military person, and some of them were known as captain, and some were the commander. So it was not a discipline, it was random.
Random.
And Qadir Siddiqui, we used to call him commander in chief, our group. So CNC, people used to call him. So anyway, so we joined Qadir Siddiqui's group. He was happy, and then he assigned me to go to India to bring arms and ammunition, because Tangal is the middle of East Pakistan. There was no supply line, and our border is about 100 miles of north of Tangal district. And whatever arms and ammunition we have to be very careful. And we used to fight hit and run tactics. We attacked Pakistani forces, we defeated them, we captured their arms and ammunition, then we left the area. Then Pakistani group came back, they tortured the villagers, they burned the houses, they abused the women. So we needed huge arms and ammunition and sophisticated arms and ammunition.
Okay.
So that's why Qadir Siddiqui assigned me to go to India, meet Indian Army, Indian government of Indian leader, as well as Mujibnagar. By that time,
Provisional government, I think.
Mujibnagar government was formed in exile. So he assigned me. So I from the Burapur, that was one of the Mukti Bahini camp near the river, a few miles away from Jamuna river. There was also a small branch river connected to Burapur.
Okay.
So I took a small boat to go to Jamuna river, then hired another bigger boat, and those who came from India and joined our Mukti Bahini, few of them, about 4 or 5, were assigned to me as a bodyguard, as my protection.
Acha.
And so with this group, and there was another labor leader, Nurul Islam.
Acha.
So Nurul Islam, myself as a Mukti Bahini leader, commander, and those who came from India, they remained with Qadir Siddiqui, and 5 of them was assigned to us to protect us as our bodyguard.
Okay.
So we started going through Jamuna river towards north, and I have no knowledge of roads, river road towards border, towards India. All I knew that north of Tangal district is the border. So it was unknown and a life risking assignment. So we started, and when we arrived near Bahadurabad Ghat, a Pakistani camp, then we came under attack by the robbers. So those area, refugees used to pass through that area, and they have golds, money. These criminals, they attacked those refugees and looted their properties, looted their possessions.
Right.
So they also thought that possibly our boat is also a refugee boat. They attacked us, but we have stun guns, and
So how many
other
of you were
weapons.
there at that time, sir, with weapons?
By the way, I missed another story. No, it will come later. So we were six freedom fighters. The commander was Lutfur Rahman and Nurul Islam, myself. So two civilians, freedom fighter, and six trained Mukti Bahini
Fighters.
came from India. So
Sure, sure.
we were six in the boat. So when we were attacked, Lutfur was about to fire back. I stopped him. I said, no, if we know we can defeat them because we have stain guns, automatic weapons. But if we fight and make noise, then soldier in nearby Pakistani camp,
They
they
will be
used to know, they will know that the freedom fighters is passing through area. So we have to use this route later. So let's not fight back. Let's just step back. So we retreat towards Jamalpur, and then we abandoned the boat. And our group, we separated in two groups. That if one group is caught or cannot cross the border, at least other group will be able to cross the border and inform that Tangal Mukti Bahini is working and they need help. So that's why we divided into two groups. In one group, myself, Nurul Islam, and Lutfur Rahman, and other group, other members, Tuku and others. So we decided to go cross the Garo Pahar, Garo Mountain, and go to Porkhashia. There is a BSF camp Dhalu.
Dhalu.
Our target was to reach Dhalu, and other group was that they will try to go to, if necessary, if they cannot cross through Jamalpur area, they will cross the river and cross the border through Rangpur. So that's how our group was divided into two. And finally, to make a long story short, we walked on foot. We took boats and passes through canals. Finally, we arrived at a village near the border. Then the villagers, he was a pro liberation forces, our supporter, and he gave a woodcutter who knows the area, especially border. He used to go there for cutting woods. So he guided us. We have to walk through a lake. The lake was not so deep. We walked through the lake and arrived a village on the top of the hill, a Garo residence, and his son guided us to cross two valleys, two Garo Hills valleys, and finally we arrived at this highway near the Porkhashia. And we met a BSF patrol jeep. We identified us to them as that we are freedom fighter from the district of Tangail. We want to meet BSF officers, and they took us to BSF camp. We met a camp leader there. I forgot his name. It's in my book. It's Sheikh Captain, and he told us that in fact we try to contact your group in Tangail. So I will inform my commander, Brigadier Sant Singh. He is in Pura, and he already we contacted him, give the message of your arrival, and he will come tomorrow morning and will meet you. So next morning he came, Brigadier Sant Singh, a Sikh officer, and he told us that by intercepting Pakistani military's message, we found that you are fighting in Tangail against the Pakistani forces. We tried to contact you, but we failed. So we are very glad that you came. So I have to take you to my commander. Major General Gill.
Deepak Singh
He is the he is the commander of 101 Communication Zone.
Acha.
So again, long story short, he took me to his camp about 10 miles from the town of Tura. There was a military. There was a Indian military camp. They are training the freedom fighters. Freedom fighters, those who arrived in that area from district of Mymensingh, Jamalpur, Tangail, they were put in that camp, and about a brigade strength of Brigadier San Singh's soldier, they are training them.
Okay.
So we went there and then took some rest. Then next morning he took us to the headquarters of Major General Gill. And again, he is also a Sikh officer, and he told the same story that we came to know by intercepting Pakistani military message that you are fighting against Pakistani in Tangail. We tried to contact you, but we failed, and I am very glad you came. So what can I do for you? Then I explained to him that we are fighting within the district. There is no supply line. It's far away from the district. We need arms and ammunition and sophisticated arms, machine gun, mortar, this kind of weapons. He told me that you came there through a long journey with a lot of stress, so you take rest in the camp, and I will get back to you after a few days. So what happened during those my stay at this camp? They cross-checked my background,
Acha.
and they assigned one Bengali captain. I forgot his name, but his name in my book. I stayed with him in his tent. All the officers,
Bengali
they have
captain
that
of
tent.
Indian
Army.
Right,
Army.
Okay.
Later I came that he is an intelligence officer. So he interrogated me, and I did not realize. He used to ask my family background, the political background of Kadir Siddiqui. Are there a lot of Naxalites? How many leftists in our group? So this kind of, and he also tried to entertain me that I like Ravindra Sangeet. So he gave some cassette, he gave some magazine, some books, and offered me to take me to Tura to see a movie, which I declined with declined that I came here to take arms and ammunition. So after a few days, Brigadier San Singh took me to General Gill's office, and he said that we cross-checked your background. We are convinced that you are a real freedom fighter. You are here to take arms and ammunition. You can take as many as arms and ammunition you want, but the problem is how to take it. And then he looked at Brigadier San Singh that sent Nurun Nabi. They could not pronounce my name, Nurun Nabi. So he said, send Nurun to Mankachar. There was a BS camp, and give him arms and ammunition as much as he can. And he said, you have to take arms and ammunition by boats. That's a river port. You go there, BSF camp will help you. So Brigadier San Singh sent me in a Indian Army jeep to Mankachar. Mankachar is a river port in Assam, in Mymensingh district and Assam. In fact, when I arrived there, I found hundreds of boats in the river port, and later I came to know that it is in fact a headquarter of smuggling.
Okay.
The goods from India cross the border and go to Bangladesh, and from Bangladesh jute and other stuff, go to India, and it's a huge market. So we
But
BSF
BSF
captain,
was there.
BSF camp captain. He's also a Sikh officer.
Mhm.
I forgot his name. It's in my book. So he told me the same thing, that arms and ammunitions are not limited. It is the uh, how you are going to take. Only option is this boat. You have to convince them to take arms and ammunition towards Tangai. So we reached several books, almost 20 books, 20 boats. Only 6 agreed to go to Tangai because they are used to do the business in the border area
Acha.
because they know their place. And so these 6 boats, we convinced them by bribe that, how much you earn here, say 100 taka, we'll give you 500 taka. And somebody will threat them that, look, we are fighting for the liberation, you should participate. So by different tactics, only 6 boats, and those boats are big boats.
Big boats.
They can carry a lot of arms and ammunition. So anyway, to make long story short,
Now, I have
we
another
found
question,
6.
sir. Like,
Sure.
how did you hide the weapons in the boats?
I'm coming to that point. So we found 6 boats, and we were given a local Mukti Bahini leader. He again claimed himself captain. He's not a captain,
Okay.
but he's dressed like a captain. So he was very helpful. He knows the area.
Mhm.
So we loaded the boats. You see, all these boats, they carry the goods, and for that, they have a kind of hidden base. Only above the water, only say 1 or 2
Okay.
feet, but their base is deep down.
Okay. I mean,
So
the
you can
base
put
of
lot
the
of
boat.
stuff, then you put a platform or some cover, so
Acha.
it is hidden. So, but anyway, so and the masjid, the boat,
Boatman.
they were very helpful.
Mhm.
They know how to do the business. So anyway, we started these 6 boats. So we try to at night we still depart Mankachar, and that captain, I forgot his name. It is also in the book. He guided us to there was a small river towards Jamuna. When we arrived in Jamuna, it was very dark and it is strong. The stream was so strong. It was windy. It was very scary situation.
Mhm.
And then we started down the stream. When we arrived near
This was in
Bahadurabad Ghat,
August, right, sir?
is in not August, in July.
July. Okay.
July, April, May, no, June. It was in June.
Okay.
It was in June. All the dates are in my book. It was June. So when we arrived near Bahadurabad Ghat Pakistani camp, again we found that gunboat was patrolling that area. Then our guide, that captain,
Mhm.
he advised that we should not cross the Bahadurabad Ghat. They will attack us. So we have to go back, and there is the local canals and the small rivers. We have to bypass the Bahadurabad Ghat
Mhm.
and again join the Jamuna River. So we came back, and by the time we came back to the canal or small river, it was already daytime. And Captain, I now remember, his name was Captain Mahbub. So Captain Mahbub said, I will only help you to cross, to bypass the Bahadurabad Ghat,
Mhm.
and then I'll come back to the border, and you have to guide on your own. We agreed. Again small story short, 6 boats. We passed through the small river, small canal, bypass the village market, and also the Rajakars camp, because we had to cross two bridges. Those are guarded by Rajakars, Bengali supporter of. So when they saw 6 boats, they possibly understood that it is Mukti Bahini's boat and we are well equipped. They cannot fight with us, so they just turned their eyes away. We crossed, and finally, but villagers, they realized that we are freedom fighters. They were giving slogan Joy Bangla. So finally, we bypassed Bahadurabad Ghat and came back to Jamuna River again, and then we arrived in Burapur after a few days, and our freedom fighters were so happy finding so many sophisticated arms and ammunitions, and Kadir Siddiqui was not there, our commander, so I informed him, and he advised us that we have to unload all these 6 boats full of arms and ammunition and distribute them different part of the district. We have different camps in different areas, so we did that, and the commander of Burapur camp was Habibur Rahman, the military person. So we gave him sophisticated arms, and he was the first commander to grab arms, So he took his own machine guns, mortars, and then I went to our headquarters in Shokipur, Madhupur jungle. It was about 20 miles from Burapur. So I took boats and I worked on food, and finally we went to Shokipur area. I met Kadir Siddiqui and reported about my mission. And then when I was there, then we found that Habibur Rahman, he ambushed 6 Pakistani launches filled with arms and ammunition. Those Pakistani arms and ammunition was going to Rangpur cantonment. He came to know about this and he ambushed those 6 launches, and there were 2 launches guarding these arms and ammunition. So there were total 6 launches. So he ambushed them and he destroyed those launches and killed Pakistani soldiers, and also some they jumped into the river. They were drowned, and when all the enemies were neutralized, and he with the help of the volunteers unloaded the remaining arms and ammunition and set these launches on fire. The reason being that after when they lost those launches, then the Air Force gunboat came and they attacked our camp. And Habibur retreated from the Jamuna side ambush area and came back to his camp Burapur. By that time, Kadir Siddiqui and myself, we walked from the it's a marathon, it's almost running for 10 hours. We came to Burapur, and finally we came to know about the total situation, and we came to know that a column of battalion Pakistani forces coming from Tangail through highway towards Burapur, and then gunboat is near the Matikata was the site of the ambush. Matikata. Then the gunboat was patrolling in that area, and also in noontime, Air Force strapped those villages, and villagers they left their homes, but cattle are killed. So when Kadir Siddiqui realized this situation, then he decided that it will be futile or suicidal to fight back these forces. So he decided that let us abandon the whole camp and whole area, took shelter into the jungle, Madhupur, our main force base there. So we, Qadir Siddiq and myself, we supervised the departure of all the soldiers, all the Mukti Bahinis, and also distributed remaining arms and ammunition. It was already rainy season, flooded, whole area was flooded. So every village is surrounded by water. So we dropped these arms and ammunition because they were packed in a sealed box.
Ooh.
So they will remain intact. They will not be destroyed. Because if we put in somebody's house, and if they came to know, then they will they capture the arms and ammunition. Moreover, set the house on fire, kill people.
Right.
So that's why all the arms and ammunitions we put near the village in the water, almost deep water, and hide them. And then all these soldiers, we decided to cross the Tangal Mymensingh highway, Tangal Madhupur highway, and took shelter in the jungle, Shakipur Madhupur jungle, which was our headquarters. And while we arrived near the highway, it was already morning, because we have to supervise all departure of all this and then organize the hiding of the arms and ammunition, and then we have to take boats and then on foot. So when we arrived near the highway village, it was already morning, and we could not cross the border. And by that time, Pakistani forces, they came to know that we are retreating towards the jungle, and we will cross this highway. So they were patrolling the highway. So then we took shelter at a village which is kind of little bit affluent, who can provide us food, because last 3 days we are without food, only water and puffed rice, we call muri.
Moody, right.
And so no formal food. So everybody was hungry. Then the village leader, the owner of the house said, we are honored and glad that you are here. We will feed you with goat meat. And they said we are going to slaughter 2 goats and then we will give you a feast.
I mean, it's Pathan Mangshu, right, sir?
It's a Kashi Mangshu boli amra.
Right.
In Bangladesh, it is called Kashi.
Kashi.
When it's not Patha. Patha is without removing testicle.
Okay.
So if you remove the testicle, then more fat accumulate in the body, it is more delicious.
Okay.
So in Bangladesh, they eat Kashi, not Patha.
Okay.
Anyway, so we are very happy, and then we are waiting, but nothing is being slaughtered, no Kashi or Patha is being killed. But the ladies, the young children, they are leaving the house with their belongings, with their possessions.
Okay.
Then Qadir Siddiqui gets suspicious, and we had volunteer forces all around. So volunteers came and told us that the Pakistani camp in Ghatal, police headquarters nearby, they were informed, they came to know that Qadir Siddiqui and his group was waiting or hiding in that village.
Okay.
So they will attack, because by that time Qadir Siddiqui is like, if someone can give information to capture Qadir Siddiqui, there is a lakhs of rupees or takas will be
Bounty on
the
his
reward.
name. Right.
Yeah, on his head, So Pakistani military came and they already started coming towards village. But since it was a rainy season, whole area is inundated with water. You can only go from one village to another, one house to another by boat.
Okay.
So about 12 Pakistani boats, Pakistani soldiers in 12 boats, they are coming towards our house, our village, particularly the place we are staying. And in the morning we came to know 2 other companies, they also could not cross the highway at night, so they are also staying. other house of the village, and there are Commander Benu and I forgot the name. So Qadir Siddiqui instructed when we found that Pakistani military is coming to attack us, then Qadir Siddiqui ordered two other company commanders to go to they came to meet us, so we ordered them to go back to their camp, ordered to their freedom fighters and get ready to fight back. So finally, those Pakistani 12 boats, Qadir Siddiqui took shelter in another house so that he can preemptive ambush them before, because they have information that we are staying in that house. So Qadir Siddiqui took his seasoned fighters with him and put the rest of us, including myself, in that house, asked us to wait.
Okay.
And so Qadir Siddiqui was waiting for them, but military, they bypassed his position and directly went to those two commanders' position. And they attacked them, and they fought back, and finally they were forced to retreat. But one of the commander, not Benu, other commander, he was severely injured, and couple of his soldiers, the freedom fighters, they were forced to leave their position and they jumped into the water, and they did not know how to swim, so they drowned. So we lost 4-5 freedom fighters, including serious injury of commander. I forgot. It's very so bad that I forgot his name.
And he
Anyway,
passed away.
it's interesting. Just allow me to finish this. Then while retreating, those Pakistani army boats, they were passing this time near Qadir Siddiqui.
Acha.
So he had when they are coming into the village, they bypass him. But while retreating, they are making a shortcut and passing through Qadir Siddiqui's position. And he has machine guns and seasoned fighters. He attacked them and drowned entire group. We don't know how many soldiers were there. At least maybe 10-20 Pakistani soldiers were shot to death, or they were drowned in water. So it was a huge success. So with the arms and ammunitions I brought first time, with that Habibur Rahman attacked and captured and destroyed those 6 launches and captured so many arms and ammunition. It was a huge news in Akashvani, Voice of America, BBC, that freedom fighters were fighting within the 100 miles of the capital within the country, and then this Qadir Siddiqui's success in the battle of destroying those 12 boats full of soldiers. So after that we waited and when we get back to those 2 camps where Benu and that commander were there, we found that he was severely injured. Qadir Siddiqui assigned me and Mahbub to take care of that injured soldier. I was a student of biochemistry. I had some operation of rats, but seeing the injury of a freedom fighter commander, and his stomach, everything was out of his belly, and and intestine, everything out of his belly, and there was the treatment. So we took him, we stepped back, went to a village back to away from the highway, and we took a sari from a housewife of that house and pushed back his stomach, everything inside, intestine inside, and put a bandage and put him on a piece of wood like we call in Bengali called Changari, kind of platform. So two freedom fighters will carry him, and he will lay on this platform. So we have been waiting again more than 3 days. We have no food, nothing, just water and puff rice. So we wait in that village. We assemble all these three groups, our groups and the Benu commanders group, and that injured commanders group. We have been waiting until when the sun will set and the dark will arrive, and then we will cross the highway. And by that time also Pakistani military patrolling the highway. So we helped. We in the darkness of the night we took position near the highway, and group by group we helped them. Benu's company and one of the Qadir Siddiqui's company took position to protect them, that so that while crossing the highway they cannot attack us. So that's how we all transferred or allowed them to cross the highway and took shelter in the jungle. Qadir Siddiqui's group and this injured commander, we were in the last group. So when Qadir Siddiqui took position in the east side of the highway, he allowed me and that injured commander to cross the highway. We crossed safely and waited for Qadir Siddiqui to cross, and then he was the last person to cross, and then joined us. Then we all together went to jungle area to our safe area, Sokipur area, and we took shelter in a house, kind of landlord house, who can provide foods for 100 people, 100 freedom fighters. So after more than 3 days, first time in the morning we have rice and dal pulse, kind of and that is the staple food, and it was so delicious because after 3 days we are having a full meal.
I mean, I can
time. So that's how
imagine, sir, like 3 days of fighting and dealing with wounds, dead people.
Yes.
I mean, constantly being hunted without food.
Yes.
It must have been one hell of a trauma, sir.
And especially the group, I was with the group of Qadir Siddiqui's sophisticated and fighter. Working with Qadir Siddiqui is kind of a challenge because he did not stay in one place. He always was on the move from one camp to another. So you don't only have to fight, you have to also run and work with him.
Right.
He was a very stout and very energyful commander. Anyway, so that's how this episode ended. And then, if you allow me to continue, I can say that that the benefits of these arms and ammunition proved. And then Qadir Siddiqui again asked me to go to India again in July. That was in second time. And I went to the journey to the Tura was rather easy because I know the area. I know where Pakistani camps are there. So I arrived there second time in July and again met Brigadier San Singh. He took me to the GOC, Major General Gill, and he approved arms and ammunition. We came safely, Bhuapur, with this time 13 boats full of arms and ammunition.
13 boats.
13. And then in November, I was asked to visit India third time.
Okay.
In November, again I went to India, and this time Anwar Alam Shahid, he was the civilian administration chief, because we have liberated big area, whole Tangal district, so we need some administration. So Anwar Alam Shahid was the civilian
Not the main
administration.
city of Tangail, right, sir? But the other
To
villages.
around Tangal, because we used to attack Tangal city hit and run. We did not, because we know if we occupy Tangal town, then Pakistan army will come with full strength as they came to capture Bhuapur, and it will be wastage of our arms and ammunition and life, because we cannot stand their strength. That's why the Tangal town was always hit and run, and we have agents there, we have informers there. But the rest of the district were liberated, so we need to maintain administration. That's what in charge, the Anwar Alam was in charge of that.
Right.
Now I remember the name of the wounded commander, Khurshid Alam.
Khurshid Alam, okay.
Khurshid Alam. He was injured, and we took him. We had a small
His intestine.
yeah. So we had a small hospital. So when we arrived in our headquarter area, Shokipur Jungle, we took him to our hospital. He was treated, and he survived.
Okay.
He became healthy. But irony and sadful event is that after the independence of Bangladesh, when Bangabandhu was killed, when the anti-liberation forces came to power, he was killed. Commander Khurshid Alam was killed by the anti-liberation forces. It was so unfortunate. He survived that one, but he killed in independent Bangladesh. Anyway, so second time, or third time when I was asked to go to India, that time Anwar Alam, civil head, he accompanied me, and Dr. Shahzad Chaudhary, he was the chief doctor of our hospital. He accompanied me, and then two other student leaders, Nuru and Farooq, they also accompanied me. But anyway, we made a smooth journey towards Mankachar. This time we took boat and directly arrived in Mankachar, and from there we divided in two groups. Myself went to Tura to meet Brigadier San Singh by a BSF jeep, and Anwar Alam and Shahzad Chaudhary went to Kolkata, Muzimnagar, to meet the government of the exile, and then Nuru and Farooq remained in Mankachar, because there was a camp of the member of the parliament. In India you call MLA, but in Bangladesh we used to call member of the parliament.
MP.
So he remained there, and also there are freedom fighter camps. So we divided into three groups. So I went to meet Brigadier San Singh as usual. I stayed with him. Camp that time. I met his brigade major Mukherjee. Major Mukherjee, I forgot to mention his name, and then the intelligence officer Captain Ghosh, I guess.
Okay.
And all other officers, because that was my third trip to Brigadier San Singh's camp. So he told me that tomorrow we are going to meet Major General Gill, and you are going to meet a VIP person.
Okay.
A VIP person will come to meet you. I said, who is that person? He said, you will find out. He did not share the name. I thought maybe a minister of the exiled government, or maybe a local MP, member of the parliament, will come to find out information about his constituency. Anyway, so I hold my curiosity. So next morning we arrived to Major General Gill's office. He was happy to see me third time. That time I was dressed in what should I call, pant, shirt, and I had a shoe. And during earlier two trips, I wear lungi. I used to wear a shirt given by the Indian government for the refugees without pockets. But this time I was dressed up, and Major General Gill told me that I understand that I guess that you are you are doing good in your area in fighting, and I can guess looking at your attire, So he was joking. Anyway, so when I arrived there, then after a few minutes, he said, helicopter will land soon, let's go to the helipad. So we went to the helipad, and a helicopter arrived, and from the helicopter, a young, handsome Sikh officer alighted with beautiful stick in his hand, and then Major General Gill, Brigadier San Singh greeted him. I also greeted him. Then he looked at me and extended his hand. I am Lieutenant General Aurora.
Okay.
I never thought about, I heard about his name that he's the GOC of Aurora, but I never thought, even in my dream, that I am going to meet Aurora. So when he mentioned that he is Lieutenant General Aurora, it took few seconds to get my sense, So then I took handshake, I shook hands with him, shake hands with him, then we sat in the waiting area of the helipad, and we are sipping tea. Then he started conversation that how is your landscape of your local area, especially Madhupur Tangal highways. I thought that there is a courtesy etiquette that when you meet when you meet someone first time, you talk about weather. That's how you started this conversation. But maybe this is another etiquette which I don't know. Talk about landscape.
Achha.
So that's how it did not raise any question in my mind. So I said, yes, there are bamboo, long bamboo street and gojari trees, means gojari trees means the tall trees around the highways. And then after some small talk, he said, the reason I came here to meet you is that we are going to drop 1 battalion paratroops in Tangal in November or end of November or beginning of December.
Okay.
So this is very top secret information. This information nobody knows of Mukti Bahini. Even my senior colleagues, everybody doesn't know. Only few people knows. So this is a top secret. You have to keep this secret even at the cost of your life, because this is the very important strategy for your liberation of Bangladesh. So you must leave today, go to Tangal and share only with your commander Qadir Siddiqui. Except 2 of you, it should not be disclosed to anybody else. So you take, I know you came here to take arms and ammunition, you take arms and ammunition as much as you can, but you must return, because this is very urgent message, very important message. He instructed Brigadier San Singh, send me to Mankachar. So I came to Mankachar, loaded again this time 13 boats of arms and ammunition. I left for Bhuapur. This time Anwar Alam Shohid and Shahzada, they also returned from Kolkata. They met Prime Minister Tajuddin, acting President Nazrul Islam, and briefed our activities. They also came there. In fact, they went to Kolkata by plane and came back with plane. So after finishing my job, I came and joined them. Then Latif Siddiqui, elder brother of Qadir Siddiqui, he was also member of the Parliament, Provincial Assembly. He also joined us. But Qadir Siddiqui told me, instructed me that I should not bring any member of the Parliament back to Tangal. Because he said they might create an additional problem for me. But he is elder brother of Qadir Siddiqui, my commander. How can I say that I cannot take you? and also he's senior to Anwar Alam Shahid.
Mm-hmm.
Anwar Alam also told me that we have to take him. Anyway, so we came Bhuapur, and when we arrived Bhuapur, unloaded our arms and ammunition, came to know that Pakistani army came to know that I go to India from Bhuapur, I bring arms and ammunition and unloaded at Bhuapur, and from there distributed. So they thought that they will attack me on third time when I return. So there, and it took longer than expected, because second time, first time it took longer time to return. Second time within a week, because it was very smooth operation. But third time it took a longer time because of meeting with Aurora, and then when I arrived, before I arrived, Pakistani attacked our Bhuapur camp. That time, Commander Habib, not Commander, Commander Hakim was the commander of the camp. And by that time, he has sophisticated arms, mortar, machine guns, grenade. So he fought back, and Pakistani forces were forced to retreat. While retreating, they attacked the neighboring village, Sabbisha, and burned the houses on fire, killed several people, raped women. So it was a kind of really massacre and human rights violation. They threw one infant to the fire. That's how killed, so that they can rape the young mother. So these kind of atrocities they committed. When I came to know about these atrocities, then I decided to help those villagers, because it was winter coming, cold, so I have blanket, I have medicine, I have money. So I spent 4-5 days over there. Kadir Siddiqui, Latif Siddiqui, Anwar Alam, myself. We visited every villagers, every victims, and distributed help with those things. So that's why I was late, and we came to know that Kadir Siddiqui was in Nagorpur, which is about 30 miles south from Bhuapur. So after taking care of the victims, we started going towards Nagorpur. Finally, we met Kadir Siddiqui in Bhuapur, and by that time Kadir Siddiqui was planning to attack Tangal and occupy Tangal town, and that's why he gathered all his company soldiers, best freedom fighters, the north as a west of Tangal town, which area is known as Porabari. So when I arrived there, I found 20 companies of freedom fighters.
Assembled.
They have been withdrawn from Bhuapur, from Ghatal, Madhupur, and deployed in that area, so that they will make a sudden attack and occupy Tangal town. So I told Kadir Siddiqui at night, so that nobody else, his elder brother, Anwar Alam Shahid, in the boat they are bugging me. By the time they know that I met Aurora. He said, why Aurora met you? What did he discuss? What is transpired? It was very difficult for me to hide this secret, but I did. So finally, I disclosed to Kadir Siddiqui. I told him when everybody, because when they met Latif Siddiqui and Anwar Alam Shahid, Kadir Siddiqui was right. Most of the freedom fighters there, they were supporters or followers of Latif Siddiqui and Anwar Alam. Anwar Alam was a student leader. He was senior to Kadir Siddiqui. So they found their old leader. They were started doing adda, gossiping, spend midnight, and nobody is going to sleep. And I cannot disclose my secret message towards Kadir Siddiqui. Finally, when everybody went to bed, I told Kadir Siddiqui, I have to step out of this house. I have to share with a top secret. Then we went in the dark. When Kadir Siddiqui used to move all the time, especially in the dark, always there is a bodyguard with him, even when he go for bathroom. So a couple, two bodyguards followed us. I said, no, you cannot follow us. We have some top secret discussion. So we took, we arrived a corner of the house, and then I disclosed that this is a secret message from Lieutenant General Aurora. You have to abandon this plan to attack Tangal and liberate it. So we have to get ready to get instruction. Lieutenant General Aurora told me that he will send some Indian Army officer. Our responsibility will be to consult with him and select 3 areas for dropping zone DJ, and also to protect that officers. Aurora told me that several officers will come, and if some of them are captured, it will be real embarrassing for the Indian government. So we have to protect at any cost these officers. So these are our main objective. One is to select dropping zones, and
So by then,
the
sir,
three.
this officer was with you.
No. When I was talking this, no.
Okay.
So let me allow to proceed.
Yes.
And so when I informed all this responsibility, Kadir Siddique said, yes, in the morning I will disclose
Talking about dropping zones. So could you?
dropping the DJ. It is known as this Air Force language is not dropping. This DJ.
DZ.
So
Right,
that's
right.
abbreviation. So he said in the morning, I will disclose all the commanders that they have our
I mean,
plan
DZ
for
for
attacking
these
Tangal.
paratroopers to land. Indian paratroopers.
I'm coming. So I told when I told the message from Kadir Siddique, he said in the morning I'll go tell all the commanders to go back to their original positions, and I will tell them that the attacking Tangal, sudden surprise attacking Tangal from west side and liberate this is postponed. We'll do it later. But I advise that don't disclose about the message of from Aurora and airdropping, paratroops dropping. So anyway, so in the morning when we are having just meeting, then a messenger came and met me and said an Indian Army officer is waiting for me in a boat in Jamuna River.
Acha, acha.
So what happened, according to Aurora's plan, he came to the border this time alone. Though Aurora told me that there will be several officers, but only one officer came. He waited at the border, but I was supposed to, after sharing the message with Kadir Siddique, I was supposed to send message back that I informed Kadir Siddique we are ready. You can send the army officers inside Bangladesh in our camp.
Okay.
But since I wasted 4 or 5 days in Bhuapur helping the victims, so the army officer alone came to the border, waited for me. When there was no message from me, then he decided, or possibly he was instructed to enter into the country, and he was given 4 or 5 freedom fighters as his bodyguard, and also long distance wireless so that he can communicate. So finally, when he arrived in Bhuapur area, he came to know that I'm in Nagurpur meeting with Kadir Siddique. Then those freedom fighters arranged this messenger and came to me and informed that he is waiting for me in a boat on the Jamuna River. So then Kadir Siddique instructed me that you please go and meet him. I will join you as soon as possible. So I came, to make a long story short, he introduced me, Captain Peter. Later we came to know that he is a captain of Signal Corps of Indian Army, a Bengali, I think Ghosh, PK Ghosh. After we know each other, we exchange our identity. There's some message, Morse code, and to really to reveal our identity. So finally, he told me that he is here, and I informed Qadir Siddiqui that he is a signal corps officer of Indian Army. Wants to meet you to select to identify the dropping zone DJ for Indian paratroops. Qadir Siddiqui came, so using a military map, we identified 3 places. And also Qadir Siddiqui sent a couple of freedom fighters to recce the area, that what are the position of that area. So to make long story short, one of the zones were Kalihati Pungli Bridge, and south of Kalihati Pungli Bridge, then another north of Kalihati, and another near Ghatal. So 3 DG we identified, and Captain Peter relayed this information to his headquarters, and Qadir Siddiqui went back to those Mukti Bahini camp in Bhuapur, in Ghatal, in Kalihati, so that during the paratroops dropping, Pakistani cannot attack them. That was also one of the assignment, to organize them to protect the paratroopers or Indian Army, or if they enter when they enter into inside the Tangal district. So he left us, and Qadir Siddiqui assigned one company of freedom fighters, about more than 100 freedom fighters under my command, to protect Captain Peter, to protect PK Ghosh, so that Pakistani cannot attack or capture him. So then I left the Bhuapur area. Captain Peter and myself went to a village, Dhopakandi, near Ghatal police station. So we set up the camp there, and we have been waiting when the signal will come. So on December 11, message came to Peter that paratroops will drop.
By now, war was almost like in the middle. I mean,
yes.
India arrived in the war. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the morning, message came that in the afternoon, Indian paratroops will drop, and then Captain Peter was excited. He shared that message with me, so there was a sense of jubilation in the camp. So finally, and which zone's paratroops will drop, we did not know. So
you selected
Captain Peter,
3 drop zones.
Captain Peter told me that we already communicated, identified 3 zones. So out of these 3 zones, and also later we came to know paratroops. They also recce those zones from their satellite, from the Air Force picture. Anyway, so in the afternoon, it was November, end of November. It was December. So the harvested, the rice field was clear, so wide area is open, and it's in Bengali there are 6 seasons. One is called late autumn. Late autumn is not so hot and not so cold, and
that is October, I guess.
Early autumn is October, and November is late autumn, and December is a winter. Anyway, so we around 3 after 3 we found that this couple of airplanes flew over that area, makes several circles, and it is followed by these paratroops dropping, and then they were flying very slowly. Then these parachutes dropped from those planes. And
you saw the entire drop, right, sir?
Yes. And later we came to know that dropping zone they divided into two. One is the Pungli Bridge, another north of Pungli Bridge near Kalihati.
Acha.
But it's meticulously planned that these two paratroops took up from two different places, but they very successfully dropped their assigned dropping zones, except two small minor exceptions. So I will discuss if there is time about that. So anyway, when we found that those parachutes are dropping, then when they are coming towards ground, it open up like an umbrella, and it was spectacular scene. And villagers came to the field. They are shouting "Joy Bangla" slogan. So when dropping was completed, by the time it became dark, and Peter was excited to go and meet them. I said, no, you cannot, because it's dark. You may be victim of a friendly fire or even enemy fire. And our camp was, Peter and I was in a camp about 20 miles north of Kalihati and Pungli Bridge and Kalihati. So we have to cross this road in night dark. So I advised him. Finally, he came down, come down, that he will wait until morning. So in the morning, Qadir Siddiqui also came and joined us. So three of us, Qadir Siddiqui, Captain Peter and myself, along with our freedom fighters, we walked towards Kalihati. When we came to north of Kalihati, then we are fired upon from Pakistani soldiers. What happened when paratroops were dropping? Then one group captured the bridge, another group landed north of the bridge, and the Pakistani forces came towards north. They will face them so that they cannot attack the forces on the bridge, near the bridge. So what happened in Mymensingh, the Mymensingh garrison commander was Brigadier Kader Khan.
Achha.
When Brigadier Kader Khan was defeated in the border, Haluaghat and other area, then he decided to abandon Mymensingh and flee to Dhaka. And another garrison was in Jamalpur. That commander was Colonel Sultan. Colonel Sultan gave a big fight. So Colonel Sultan, after being defeated in Jamalpur, and Brigadier Kader Khan, after being defeated in Mymensingh, their remnant forces fleeing towards Dhaka, towards Dhaka through Tangai. So when paratroops landed, and paratroops were well equipped, they have machine gun, mortar, jeep, and then cannon, and then food, water, everything. They are full-fledged. And Pakistani defeated force, they have a low morale. They are fleeing towards Dhaka. So when the paratroops group north of bridge towards Mymensingh, when they saw that Pakistani forces, Brigadier Kader Khan's forces is coming, they attacked on them. There was a fight between them, and almost whole night there was a fight. We heard gunfire because they came in different groups. So possibly one group was defeated, another group came, but they are in high ground. So finally, when they were defeated, those remnant groups, they fled the area. They fled towards west, abandoned their khaki dress, Pakistani dress. They took dress from the villagers, lungi, Punjabi shirt, and they started walking on their foot towards Tangal and eventually towards Dhaka.
Now, sir,
So
I
we
would
kept-
like to tell one thing, that this is clearly breaking the Geneva Conventions. I mean, one soldier cannot abandon his dress. Like, if that is
Yes.
done, you can actually fire on that guy.
Yeah, for their life, they they would do whatever they can to save their life. That's why they abandoned their dress and put a villagers' dress. And so anyway, we captured them, and then in this front where when I arrived the Kadir Siddiqui, when we were fired upon north of Kalihati, Kadir Siddiqui stayed behind. He said he will fight back, and that was an interesting battle. I'm not going to talk, but rather because Captain Peter was eager to meet his troops. So he was captain, but later I came to know that by that time he was already promoted to major. But anyway, in my book I mentioned he was Captain Peter. So Captain Peter PK Ghosh, he and I, when we arrived there near the bridge, we found so many dead bodies and limbs. I have never seen such a horrible scenery in my life. Then those who Pakistani soldiers were attacked directly by machine gun mortar, their body was scattered. Hands, bodies, heads, legs in different places. So Peter and I literally had to jump those dead bodies, those limbs, so that we don't touch them.
Okay.
We crossed the river, and Peter was excited and rejoiced to join his officers, his colleagues. And then time transpired. Then we came to know that Kadir Siddiqui defeated those remnant Pakistani forces who were firing back just to take time to flee. But they are not really fighting. Anyway, so then Brigadier Clare, who was the other, underneath Major General Gill, there are two brigades. One, Brigadier San Singh, whom I used to meet three times, who was my kind of local guardian, you can say. And my relation with him was kind of father and son. I used to call him Babaji.
San Singh Babaji, yeah, everybody.
San Singh Babaji. And I used to call him, and other freedom fighter also called him Babaji. And another brigade was commanded by Brigadier Clare. So his brigade from Jamalpur area, he crossed the border Jamalpur area, and from there let me share this story right here. When he crossed the border and sent a message to Colonel Sultan, he means Brigadier Clare, send a message to Sultan to surrender. So when the war started on December 3rd, then Brigadier Clare, his troop, they crossed the border and came near to the Jamalpur, and there were fight in between. And then when they came near the river and sent a message to Colonel Sultan that your game is over, surrender. Instead of surrender, he sent back a bullet, the symbol of resistance, to the messenger. So when that messenger came with that bullet and note that Sultan will never surrender, he will fight.
One of your own guys, Mukti Bahini fighter, who took
was the freedom fighter, Mukti Bahini. Munshi, his name is
Munshi.
Shahidul Haq Munshi. So when he came back with the message and bullets, and then they decided that no, he will not surrender, we have to fight. And Brigadier Clare, Indian army officer, they used to wear loose jacket. His jacket has 6 bullets hit, but it did not touch his body. So that's why his colleague said he was one of the luckiest soldier on earth, that 6 bullets hit his jacket, but not his body. So when we arrived at the headquarters, the temporary headquarters of paratroops, its commander was Pannu, Colonel Pannu. Their strength was about 1,000 paratroops dropped in 3 groups. One was this capture to capture the breeze, another north of breeze, another was supply and other stuffs, and another drop was with dummy drops.
Dummy drop.
So to distract the enemy, there was a dummy drops also. Anyway, so when we arrived the underneath the bridge, it was December month. The river was dry. So Colonel Pannu established the temporary camp of his of his battalion underneath the bridge. We arrived there, and Peter was happy to meet his colleagues. And then we heard that Brigadier Clare is coming to meet the group under the Pungli Bridge. Qadir Siddiqui greeted him near Kalihati. Then two of them came underneath the bridge, and then Brigadier Clare asked everybody to assemble there to celebrate their victory.
Achha.
So he raised champagne to celebrate, and then we are also given them to champagne glass. Then I told the host that Qadir Siddiqui and I don't drink. We prefer some other thing. Then they gave us soft drink, and we celebrated the victory. And so that was the end of the paratroop story. And other story I already told, that those Pakistani soldiers who were fleeing, they were captured and they were put in prison. And after this ceremony, after this ceremony, then we came to know that though Qadir Siddiqui instructed Captain Fazlur Rahman, he was the commander of forces who remained west of Tangal town. He was so excited when he saw that paratroops are dropping. He thought this is the time. So he attacked Tangal town, old portion, and he occupied, or he liberated the Tangal town, the old town. And the new town, where was the Pakistani garrison, Pakistani camp, then of the water tank, there Pakistani troops are still fighting. They are firing on the forwarding freedom fighters. So then Commander Pandu told us that let's go and occupy Tangai. Then Qadir Siddiqui said, you save your strength for Dhaka attack. We can handle of this. But they also accompanied us. Then a group of Tangal freedom fighter groups under leadership of Qadir Siddiqui, and a group of paratroopers under the leadership of Pannu. We marched towards Tangal, and then there was a fire exchange between the Pakistani forces staying in the new town, new district area. Finally, they have to surrender, and so then we liberated whole Tangal town by the evening of December 11. And we arranged the place for staying for Colonel Pannu in the dark bungalow of Tangal New District. So that's how on December 12, the paratroops dropped in December 11. December 12, we liberated whole Tangal. And at the end of and the night, or same night, then Brigadier Clare's brigade arrived in Tangal, and then Brigadier Sansingh's brigade also came to Tangal, and Brigadier Sansingh's brigade has no artillery. So he borrowed the I came to know this from Colonel Gill. Anyway, so then three groups: Brigadier Sansingh's group, Brigadier Clare's group, and Tangal Mukti Bahini's group. They marched towards Dhaka at the night of December 12. So two brigade of Indian Army and also Mukti Bahini group in both area. They were at the outskirts of Dhaka city by the night of 12, and there was a fight on December 13 and 14 and after 2 nights, Pakistani forces
Fighting.
they stop fighting, and when General Nagra came to Tangail on December 16th morning, he took Kadir Siddiqui along with him. He stopped at Brigadier Clare's position. So when he first stopped at Brigadier Clare's position, Brigadier Clare updated him about the last 3 days fighting, and he said Pakistani forces stop fighting, and then he said let's go to. He picked up Brigadier Clare. Let's go to Brigadier San Singh's near Midpur Bridge. So they went there, and he got updated from Brigadier San Singh. Same story, that they were fighting between his forces and Mukti Bahini along with Pakistani forces, and there were injury on both sides. And during that time, I arrived in Tangail on the night of December 12, but I remained in Tangail, and then coordinating the supply supply line of this Mukti Bahini as well as Indian Army, their food and other stuff.
Administrative
current-
duty.
Administrative. Myself, Anwar Shahid, and Kadir Siddiqui, the Latif Siddiqui.
Okay.
Three of us, we set up a administrative office of Mukti Bahini in the office of at the office of Amili. So we have been coordinating from there. So anyway, so when four of them, General Nagra, Brigadier Clare, Brigadier San Singh, and Kadir Siddiqui arrived near the Mirpur Bridge and get updated from Brigadier San Singh. By that time, we also Brigadier San Singh, Brigadier Clare sent the wounded soldiers to Tangail, and there is a big hospital, Mirzapur Hospital. So we admitted them to the hospital and treated, and those who were seriously wounded, they were shipped back by helicopter to India, possibly Guwahati or Agartala. I'm not sure. Whichever is the nearest. So anyway, then General Nagra came to know that they also stopped fighting, and by that time Field Marshal Manekshaw was distributing dropping leaflet, and also through Akashbani, Hatiyar Dal Deo, we will take care of you according to Geneva Convention. So there was a psychological pressure on General Niazi, Pakistani commander, as well as paratroops. So what happened, I should share right now, is the tactics used by Indian Armed Forces, which is the Indian Armed Forces General Field Marshal Manekshaw made a plan that Bangladesh, they will attack and liberate 3 areas of Bangladesh and stopped fighting, and then through negotiation they will liberate or gain independence of Bangladesh, because General Manekshaw's understanding was if they liberate Dhaka by fighting, then there will be huge loss of life as well as the property loss. And so then when this plan was handed over to Aurora and he passed in to his second in command, Major General Jacob, a Jewish general, he said, I have different plan. If we do that, and if we occupy 3 parts of Bangladesh and stop moving forward, then United Nations, America, friends of Pakistan, Middle Eastern country, they will never allow us to make East Pakistan as a independent country. They will do different kind of diplomatic pressure. It will be a status quo, possibly maximum autonomous. So then Aru asked, what is your plan? He said, I have a different plan. I came to all this story detail later through Lieutenant General Bammi. I will describe about his role anyway. So then Aurora asked him, what is your plan? He said, to Aurora that I have been maintaining relation with the Tangail Mukti Bahini. I trained them, I supplied them arms and ammunition. They kept liberated entire Tangail district. So my plan is to drop 1 battalion paratroops in Tangail early, end of the November or early December, and then we will march towards Dhaka almost without a fight at all. Because I will mislead in Pakistani army by giving them impression that Dhaka we will occupy through eastern section, Kumilla section.
Achha.
That's why Major General Jacob deployed 3 divisions of Pakistan Indian Army in Kumilla sector,
Right.
and he
Eastern side.
moved 3 brigades of Mukti Bahini, Z Force, S Force, K Force.
From the
When
eastern side.
Pakistani saw that these 3 divisions of Indian Army, 3 brigades of Mukti Bahini in that area, so they also deployed their maximum strength. In fact, there was a huge fight between these 2 forces. So it was a huge loss on both sides. So Pakistani was sure that Dhaka will be occupied through eastern section, and that's why they deployed and fought vigorously, and there was casualty on both sides. But Jacob's plan was that when 1 battalion paratroops, about 100,000 paratroops, dropped in Tangail, about 100 miles north of the capital, he made a press conference in Kolkata that Dhaka is a surrounded city. We have dropped 5,000 paratroops around Dhaka. Dhaka is a surrounded city. Niazi will no other option but to surrender. And to make this believe, because that in those days there was no an internet or video clipping to distribute so quickly. So to make it believe, he distributed printed picture of dropping 5,000 paratroops
Into the
dropping.
media, I guess.
But in fact it was a rehearsal of dropping 5,000 paratroops near Delhi sometime in summer.
I think it
So
was in
raw,
Agra.
sometime near Delhi. So sometime in summer, so couple of months, and this picture were collected by the director of the RAW, the research wing, the Indian intelligence, and I came to know about this in detail. There is a book published from USA, The War That Made RAW. It was written by journalist Onusha and Onusha Nanda Kumar and Sandeep Saket. It was published in America last year. Here on chapter 17, this book describes that how RAW was made as an institution. Before the 75 war, 71 war, it was not a solid institution. So because of this war, it became. So this book is about making RAW as an institution. In this book, on chapter 17, title is Dropping of Paratroops in Tangail. In that book, chapter 17, it is written that dropping of paratroops in Tangail was a winning strategy. And this operation was assigned to Dr. Nurun Nabi, a scientist come freedom fighter, to coordinate with RAW agent. So after 53 years later, I came to know that Captain P.K. Ghosh, who was known to us initially as a Captain Peter, was a RAW agent.
Achha.
I came to know about this secrecy after 53 years. Anyway, so when General Jacob made this announcement that Dhaka is surrounded by 5,000 paratroopers, General Niazi has no way of knowing what is the truth, because he has no intelligence, he has no air force, no helicopter. So it helped to make a decision for, of course there were other factors to Niazi to make a decision to surrender. So that's why when I tell this story, and which is a part of history, that dropping of paratroops in Tangail, and Tangail was chosen, we were chosen as a partner, as a winning strategy. It's also testament to the success of Tangail Mukti Bahini and Kadir Siddiq as a commander, and also myself being so insignificant person that I was 21-year-old. I have no rank, no dress, no shoes. I had the opportunity to share this secrecy, to coordinate this, and also met General Aurora, Brigadier San Singh, Brigadier Clare, Major General Keel, Major General Nagra. So I was also lucky, one of the luckiest freedom fighters. So
Right.
that's how the story end of our liberation war. And I
Yes,
will take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Indian soldiers. 4,000 soldiers were killed. They shed their life, and Indian people, they helped us like their family members. And the government of India and of Indira Gandhi, as well as leadership of Indira Gandhi herself, like personal leadership. She traveled from capital to capital all of the globe to make secure the life of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, to save his life. So considering all things, Bengali should be ever grateful to the people of India, government of Indira Gandhi, and soldiers who sacrificed their life and who owned it. And by the way, I would like to mention that a documentary was made on me, and Dr. Nurun Nabi, a freedom fighter forever. In that documentary, I visited Delhi, Guwahati, Tura, and interviewed 26 Indian Army officers in Delhi, those who were that time Lieutenant Captain Major. They retired as a Lieutenant General, and 6 in Guwahati, and captured their story. I want that their sacrifice should not be forgotten, so that people of India, people of Bangladesh, not only the heroism, sacrifice of Bangladesh freedom fighter, also the freedom fighters, I will call them Indian soldiers who made sacrifice for India, and this will help us to build permanent, everlasting friendship between two nations. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. That, I mean, expressing gratitude for your liberators and also people who worked with you and also your own fighting forces. I mean, that is indeed a remarkable, what I can say, mentality of yours to accept the inclusive involvement of everybody in this war, sir.
Yes, yes.
And
Yeah,
your
and
story,
our
sir,
fighting,
personal story, I mean, it is so moving, to be honest. Like, I mean, fighting without food sometimes and being hunted, then, I mean, relying on villagers, yeah, and then dealing with casualties. Wonderful, sir.
yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, I had to take care another injured soldier, which was while Peter and I was waiting near village Gatal. Then one of our soldiers was injured. He was brought to our camp because ours was nearest, and I knew him. He was a student leader. So when a person, I knew him so close, and he was injured, and I was helpless. No medicine, no food, nothing. And then I started looking for a doctor.
Acha.
Then someone told me that there was a lady doctor who fled from Dhaka and staying in her home, village home. So I sent a freedom fighters to ask him to come and treat this freedom fighter. And she did not comply. She was afraid. Then when that messenger came back and told me about, then I found that I know her. She is my distant relative. Then I sent a freedom fighter with a machine gun. Before I sent without machine gun. I mean a Sten gun. So next time, the second time I sent another freedom fighter with a Sten gun and asked him to share my identity. And then when she learned about me, then she came and treat my friend, and he survived. And interesting part of the story, during for the shooting of my documentary, I visited all the places where I used to go. So Nadim and I went to a primary school next to my village, which I attended. And that was not a part of the documentary, but when the primary school teachers, villagers came to know that I'm in the area, they said, you must visit to inspire the students. That I'm a former student of that school and make that contribution. So I went there. Then I met a student, they garland me, they chanted slogan, honor of me. Then one freedom fighter came. He said, "Do you recognize me?" I said, "No. It's so long time. We don't miss each other. Possibly you don't recognize me without identified by somebody else. So that's why possibly we don't. I don't know you. So please tell me who you are." He said, "That wounded soldier, for his treatment, when you send someone to bring the doctor, I was that freedom fighter." It's so interesting.
Indeed.
And that I was that because he's from the area. So possibly doctor identified the freedom fighter as well as me, and she feels secure. Then she came and treated. And she was unmarried, very beautiful. And then I went to last December. I went to world is so small. That's what I'm telling you a story. I went to Montreal to show my film. Then one young lady from our area, he came to see me, and when she saw me, and she said, "I'm from your next village, and I'm from that village." I said, "There was a relatives in my in that village. Do you know those?" He said, "Oh, the person I mentioned." He said, he was my great grandfather." And then I said, "Is it so?" Then I said, "There is a story. There was a young lady doctor. She might be your relatives. So she helped us during the war." I told this story, what I told him. She said she was my aunt.
Okay.
I said, "I want to meet her." She said, "Unfortunately, she passed away." The world is so small.
Indeed. Another thing,
Okay.
sir, before concluding our program, one thing that is not spoken much about you, that is your contributions to something that we are very much using all over the world, that is Colgate toothpaste, sir.
Oh, yes. That's why, people when introduce me, they say, "Bir Mukti Joddha, scientist because of Colgate,
Right.
and writer 21 পদক আমি তো 21 পদক পেয়েছি
Right.
তো and mainstream আমি councilman. After the liberation war, I did not stop at only to build up my career. I continue to work on liberation war ideals. which we Bengali call Mukti Joddher Chetona.
Right.
That means liberation war ideals.
Mm.
And that's what I wrote books. I have written 25 books, 5 in English, and one is, the rest is Bengali, one is translated in Spanish, another being translated in Japanese. And that was my motto, to establish the history so that people of generation to generation remember what a sacrifice
You people have
people
made.
of
Right.
people of Bangladesh, people of India contributed towards liberation. And after this is also interesting story. After the liberation, we met Bangabandhu on January 11, 1972.
Okay.
In other words, the day he arrived,
The next day. Yeah.
next day we went to his home and met the leaders of Tangal Mukti Bahini, met with him, and he greeted us. He showered with us love and affection. After a few days, he called us, 3 of us,
Acha, acha.
Kadir Siddiqui and Anwarul Alam Shahid and myself, 3 of us, to his office, official residence, government residence.
Okay.
He said, after the liberation, there are a lot of criminals. They picked up arms and ammunition abandoned by Pakistani forces from the street, and they are doing criminal activities. But people are thinking that it is the Mukti Bahini doing all these criminal acts. So I have decided, my government has decided, I will keep arms and ammunition only to the law enforcing agency like police, BDR, EPR, that time EPR, and then army. So no civilians or no miscreants should have arms and ammunition in your hand. So I will collect arms and ammunition from everybody, including freedom fighters.
Okay.
So we have earned a reputation or acclaim from all over the world that you fought a good fight. I want you to also lead an example, surrendering arms to me. That will set an example, and that will also spread your good name all over the country, all over the world, that after successful fighting, you have surrendered arms to me. Then others will follow you. So we agreed. He is our father of the nation. He is our leader. So a couple of days later, he said he find a date, January 24. He will come to Tangail, visit us, and personally accept surrendered arms and make it a huge news to set up an example so that other freedom fighters follow us. So we agreed. He came. Long story short, he came to Tangail on January 24, and there is a picture I gave you. After surrendering, he addressed to us, addressed the gathering, and thanked Tangail Mukti Bahini leaders. And I had the opportunity to stand next to him. It's a famous picture. So we surrendered arms, and at that time, I finished my undergraduate honors exam, written and practical, and then I'm writing thesis. I was in the process of writing thesis, so I went back to university, and my 2 other colleagues, pardon?
Dhaka University.
Dhaka University Biochemistry Department, and then Anwar Alam, he finished his master's degree, and Kadir Siddiqui, before the war, he was a student of Korea College, and so he called 3 of us after the surrender ceremony. It was huge news all over the country, all over the world, Then he called us at his office and said, you made a good, you are successful and a very reputed group in freedom fighting, and then you make arms surrender. That is the big news. So now what are you going to do? Did you think about your future? The three of us, we are exchanging our look to each other because we did not think. I was busy writing thesis. Anwar Alam Shohid finished his master's degree, have to decide what to do. And Qadir Siddiqui, he is a commander, he did not decide what to do. So when we are looking at each other, we have no answer. He said, this is the significance. Bangabandhu said, I have decided for three of you what you are going to do. Think, out of 7 crore people, he is the father of the nation, prime minister. He thought about 3 freedom fighters, what are they going to do? What a great leader.
Yeah.
So then he looked at Qadir Siddiqui, said, Qadir will do politics with me. He will join my party. He looked at Anwar Alam Shohid, Anwar Alam, that I will build a militia Bahini, militia soldier with the freedom fighters. Anwar Alam will lead that militia group. And then he looked at me. Compared to those 2 gentlemen, I am slightly built, short. And he looked at me and he said, Nabi, my people used to call me as a Nabi, not Nuran. The Nabi will work in NSI, National Intelligence, National Security Intelligence.
Achha, achha, achha.
So he already decided for 3 of us what to do. What a great leader, what a great fatherly figure. So, and we did not decide, we have no answer to yes or no. We just mumbled and did not say anything. And then she said, think about it and let me know when you are going to join. So when we are about to leave that room, then we saw an officer. His name is Nurul Nabi. He was a deputy director of National Intelligence Agency, NSI. He looked at him, Bangabandhu looked at him, said, Moment, this is Nurun Nabi, and this is Nabi, he will join your department. So talk to him and make all the necessary arrangements for his appointment. Then Nurul Moment looked at me and told me that if you are not in a hurry, please wait for me outside. Once I finish with the Honorable Prime Minister, I will talk to you. So I wait few minutes. Then Nurul Moment came out of PM's office, Prime Minister's office, and he said, he asked me, he did not know me. He asked me my name, what do I do? I told him, and he said, tomorrow come to our office, meet the director, Sabdar Ali Bhuya. He was the director of NSI, and he will talk to you what are the next steps. So next morning, it is a recommendation from the father of the nation, Prime Minister. I cannot disobey. So next morning, I went to him, and I met Sabdar Ali, director of the NSI. And to make long story short, I asked him what would be the nature of my job. He said he will be assistant director of NSI, not deputy director, underneath director, deputy director, and assistant director. And he said this detective or the spy of the government from all over the country will report to you daily about the anti-government, anti-state activities to you, and you will summarize and then report to me. So to myself, I was a little bit disappointed because during Pakistan time, the FBI or FBI equivalent intelligence people, SB, they used to do the same thing on us. and my name was on that list,
Acha,
Pakistani intelligence. I said I was a victim of this system, and I will do the same thing. And moreover, it's a kind of a job, a big clerical job.
right.
What is the growth in the profession, and I may not enjoy. So I said, I told Nurul Moment that I'm writing my thesis. Once I finish, then I will let you know when and when time I will join this job. And then once I went back to the university, then the BCS, Bangladesh Civil Service exam were done. I participated. In the merit list, I was 13 or 14. So I was invited to face interview which job I will prefer, because there are administrative job, foreign service job, and then clerical, and then financial position, the collector job, different kinds of job. So I met the principal secretary of Prime Minister, Ruhul Quddus, took the interview.
Acha.
So he asked me that what is your preference? I said foreign service. If I get a foreign service job, I am interested. He said there is no job foreign service, only 4-5 positions were opened, and we don't have embassy in all countries yet. We didn't even get the recognition, diplomatic recognition by other countries yet. So only 4-5 positions were there. It is already filled. I will recommend you administrative service. Administrative service, you will be your starting appointment will be magistrate in a subdivision. Then you will be promoted to SDO, subdivision officer, then district commissioner, then secretary, deputy secretary. You will retire like my position, secretary of the government.
Acha.
He gave a long list. I say no. If it would be foreign service, I would go for this job, but I'm not interested. She said, "Are you stupid? It's an administrative job, very powerful job. You will be appointed a magistrate in the local town. You will be the boss. People will give you a gift like your fruits, kashi, that's pata, and this kind of feast. You will be kind of lord. You don't want to enjoy that." I said no. He said, "Can you do specific why you don't like the job? People are crazy for this kind of job. It is so powerful." I said, "I'm a freedom fighter. I was in politics, student league. I know a lot of people. So if I take administrative job, people will approach me undue favor. Because all these people I know, the minister, MP, student leader, Army League leader, then I cannot do independent jobs. So I'm not." He said, "For that reason, since you have that kind of sense and resolve, we need people like you in administrative job." So politely I said, "Sir, let me think about it. I'll let you know." Because my intention was to become teacher,
Acha.
join the university, do PhD, become a scientist.
Acha.
But I cannot say that I regret a job given or recommended by father of the nation. People will say I'm a crazy guy, something wrong with my brain. So I could not discuss this. Even my closest friend Anwar Alam, Kader Siddiqui, even I could not discuss. Anwar Alam accepted that job, that he will be the deputy director of Mukti Bahini, the militia Bahini with the freedom fighter. And Kader Siddiqui already joined Jubilee. So only I did not say yes to Bangabandhu's offer, and even I did not say this rule could this offer the job of a administrative magistrate, because my hidden intention to become the scientist. My father, my mother used to told me they were not highly educated. They did not go to university,
They preferred
but they have a
education.
sense that I must have a highest degree.
Hmm.
So master degree is not highest, PhD is the highest degree.
Right.
So I just kept taking time. Then I finished my master's. Then there was an opening of lecturership in the Department of Biochemistry. So I applied, and during interview, the vice chancellor told me the same thing. That he looks like an intelligent guy. Do you want to take the job of a teacher? There is a saying, "Noon ante panta furai."
Hmm.
বলে আমরা যারা শিক্ষক, those who are in teaching, financially we are not,
Not very
stable.
right?
Yeah, so why you want to be a teacher? So I said, I want to be a scientist. That's my ambition. So okay, if you want. So he appointed me as a lecturer. I joined the Dhaka University as a lecturer, and then I got married. My wife was also my classmate. She also joined the university as a research scientist, and finally, after 1 year, we got scholarship, Mombushu scholarship, in Japan to do PhD. So I got the scholarship, and I accompanied my wife. So both of them, we went there. We did our PhD.
Acha, acha.
It took 5 years because we have to learn Japanese language.
Mhm.
And then after finishing our PhD, while we are getting ready to return to Bangladesh, we still have our job.
Mhm.
Then my father told me that that time Bangabandhu was killed, military government was in power. My father wrote me that don't come back to Bangladesh because military is harassing me.
Acha.
They are the military intelligence, police intelligence coming to me and asking me that your son is in India. During that time, Kadir Siddiqui took exile, went exile to India and started fighting against military government at the border.
Mhm.
And so these intelligent people accused my father that your son is with Kadir Siddiqui in India because he was a brain of Kadir Siddiqui during war. So we have information he is in India. My father said, no, my son and my daughter-in-law, they are university teacher. They went to Japan, government scholarship. They finished PhD. They are getting ready to come back. Said, no, you are telling lie. So after several visits, they are doing same thing. Then my father told me that
Do not come back.
really don't come back because military rule is here. If you come, they may arrest you, put in jail. Your career will be destroyed. So then I decided that I thought let me take a pause and think what to do. That time my wife was expecting 8 months and 9 months pregnant.
Hmm.
So it's also risky. So then my father told me that finally they approached my father and said, please give some money, bribe. We will destroy Dr. Nabi's file, his destroy case, which is totally false. There is no file against me. They are harassing my father just to take bribe
Mhm.
because they know that I was a right-hand man of Qadir Siddiqui during war.
Mhm.
So if they use that accusation, possibly they can grab some money from my father. So when I heard that, I was really disgusted that this is the country for which I went to sacrifice my life. I make serious contributions, a significant contribution, and my father is being harassed, and I have to face this if I go back. Then I decided I will not return. I then applied for a visiting scientist position at New York University, and then we are getting ready that both of us will come to New York University. Then my wife told me that she doesn't want to accompany me to New York because she is in the latest position of late position of pregnancy. So she wants to visit Bangladesh, stay with her father and mother and get the baby born. Then she will join us in New York. So she went to Bangladesh. I came to
New
USA
York. अच्छा, अच्छा.
and New York after my son was born, and she came with my son and joined me in New York. So that's how I ended up in New York. And after coming here, then Ershad took over the power and he became a dictator. Then after settling down and in New York, finishing my postdoctoral fellowship, I wanted to go back to Bangladesh. Then my father told me that don't come because this another military government. The earlier episode was with General Ziaur Rahman, and this time with General Ershad, and I already started working anti-Ershad activities in New York.
अच्छा.
He said, "You don't come, you may be in trouble. You try to stay in India, in America." Then I applied for the green card, permanent residency. We got. Then our fellowship is over. Then I have to find a permanent job. Then I applied for job at different places. Finally, I got a job in Colgate Palmolive companies R&D, Research and Development Center as a scientist.
Okay.
Then my wife joined Princeton University, and after a couple of years spending in Princeton University, she also joined Colgate.
अच्छा.
So I used to work Colgate in oral care department,
Okay.
and my wife joined the personal care department. And then I was given a project to develop a toothpaste which take care all the problem of the mouth. Mouth has several problems. So I mean cavities. That means the loss of minerals.
Teeth. Okay.
Minerals that cause cavity, and then you have gum disease, we call periodontitis, and then you have tartar control, which is a stone in the mouth,
अच्छा.
and also bad breath.
Bad breath.
So I was asked to develop a toothpaste which will take care all the problem. So I developed a toothpaste. It was named Colgate Total. That means take care total problems. And this total first time in this category, a FDA approved toothpaste. Before that, no other toothpaste was approved by FDA because no toothpaste make any clinical claim.
And
Our
Americans
total
follow
brand-
the FDA approval very much.
and this Colgate Total, we made clinical claim like gingivitis, stop bleeding gum. So these are clinical claim. To approve these claims, you need to get approval from FDA. And we submitted not box full of documents, truckload of documents to FDA to get the approval, because we have conducted clinical study all over the globe with several thousand human trials. So that's why we have developed these documents and safety documents. That's why we have to submit truckload of documents for approval. So our product is the first product which is approved by FDA, and it was making. It has been making a lot of revenue since 1996.
I mean,
And
it's something I have at my home. Everybody is.
thank you, and thank you so much. We try to develop it, set up a plan and develop in Bangladesh after setting up in India. But Bangladesh that time, when we make the attempt, there was a political turmoil. That's why Colgate decided not to establish a plant in India, rather a plant in Bangladesh. Rather, in addition to India, we set up a plant in Nepal. So now in that region, not Pakistan, not Bangladesh, it's originally India, then second is in
Nepal.
Nepal. We have a big laboratory and business center in Mumbai.
Right.
And also I started, another aspect of my professional job. I took early retirement
Okay.
at the age of 55. Retirement age is 65. To write books,
Okay.
because in foreign countries when you write books, you need a lot of reference. It takes a lot of times. So I thought that
Academic
I have
books,
attained
I
the
guess.
highest achievement of my career.
Acha, acha.
So in a winning general, never assigned to lead another war. So I thought I have developed Colgate Total. I tried 5 years to develop next generation Total or beat the current Total. I could not. So when I met my chairman, he asked, Nurun, what are you doing nowadays? I said, I am trying to make Miss World, Miss Universe. It's a tough, difficult job. So then I decided to retire and join mainstream politics. I became councilman of my town.
Okay.
I've
This is in
been
the
on the
US.
council for last 17 years.
Okay.
This last year I was re-elected for another 3-year terms. So that's how my life is. Freedom fighter, writer, Ekushi Padma awardee, and a scientist, Colgate Total, and a mainstream politician, councilman, and a documentary was made on me, Dr. Nurun Nabi, a freedom fighter. Forever, that's the end of the story. That's my life.
You have done a lot for humanity, sir. In your entire life.
Thank you.
And starting with, of course, serving your country, and then I think you have developed a product used by everybody in this world, I guess.
Yes. Not only once in a day. Some people use 3 times a day. Some people twice a day.
I'm in the second category. Yeah. We have
Yes.
Colgate at home. Yeah. That's the thing, like, sir. Sometimes the world is actually so small. Like, I never also thought I'll be talking to a man of your stature and reputation, of course. But it all was like searching for you regarding 71 war, and then I found that, oh my God, this is a man who developed what we all have it in our homes. Wow.
তো ভালো থেকো, আবার কথা হবে, দেখা হবে।
Okay, sir. And thank you so much for আপনারা যা
You
করেছেন।
are welcome. You are welcome. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Bye.